Welcome to Unselfishly Me, a podcast all about self-love, self-care, and everything in between. I'm Jane, a personal trainer with a focus on self-love. Each week, we'll be chatting to someone about their self-love journey, how long it took, and what it took to get there. So today I just wanted to tell you about my retreat. So this is all about the retreat that we went on in the Midlands. It is usually every 3 or 4 months, but obviously with COVID and lockdown, our May retreat couldn't happen. So this past weekend was the May retreat. And then next weekend we have the inverted commas December retreat. I would have done one in between May and December as well, but 2020 things. So what makes my retreat special, I think, is that it is solely focused on self-love. So there are so many yoga retreats out there, which are beautiful and they serve their purpose. But I just saw a gap in the market for a self-love retreat. I didn't really see, when I started doing them, I didn't really see anyone else doing them. And I thought it was a real need for people to do something that was unselfishly them. If they wanted to come and just sleep and read in bed for a whole weekend, they should be able to do that. If you want to come and escape from your husband and your children, then that is totally okay, and you should be able to do that and not feel guilty about it. You should be able to do it to refill your tank. Do you want to get out of the house? Could you stay with family? If you just want to be by yourself, if you are usually nervous to be by yourself, but now you want to step out of your comfort zone and you just want to try something new and learn all about yourself and what you want and what you need, and some skills that can really help you to speak more kindly to yourself so you're not feeling so negative, how to set boundaries, like how to journal, learn how to meditate, because we do guided meditations. So it really is a little bit for everyone. And no matter what you're going through right now, there's a little bit of something for you in this retreat. So it's not something scary. It's very relaxed. We have an itinerary, but it's quite flexy. So, which is what I encourage, if you want to go book a massage at Brahman Hills, which is the most beautiful spa, and their prices are really reasonable. I call it like Durban prices. Then, I give like a time slots which it could work in, but if it goes over that, then we just kind of shift things around. So everyone gets to book their little spa thing if they want to. There's no pressure. Some booked spa treatments, some just stayed in the lodge and read in bed, and it was just perfect weather for that as well, because it was quite chilly a lot of the days. So it was just lending itself perfectly for like snuggling up in bed with some tea and reading your book and just resting. I think that's like the word that we need for this retreat, resting. You need to rest. It's been a crazy year and we've all been on the go non-stop trying to do like 5 different jobs at once. And I think it's a nice time to just pause and just rest before the festive season. Even though it's not going to be as crazy busy and seeing so many people as before, it's still a busy time, and we at the end of the year, we're so tired. So I think it's a great time to actually pause, reset, and just put something into yourself instead of just putting it into others. So I was a little bit, not nervous, but intrigued, I suppose, for this one, because usually I do 2 nights. And then we decided to do 3 nights this time, and so many reasons, but one of them was that I do have Joburg girls that drive down, and the 2 nights is just so rushed for them. And I also just suddenly had this like download from the universe that basically I am like rushing through content, and not in a bad way, like no one would have noticed it, but I just personally felt like I was trying to add so much value to the weekend, that I was doing so much content, trying to make so many talks and action packed, and it's just too much for what the time that we had. And the whole purpose of why I wanted this retreat to be this retreat is because I want you to feel rested, and I want you to just remember that if you want to lie in bed and read all day, that it's not selfish. If you want to go and read in the bath for an hour, it's not selfish. If you want to go have a nap at 11 a.m., it is not selfish. If you want to watch Netflix in bed for a whole day, it is not selfish. And it acts as a reminder to take time for yourself, and it reminds you what it feels like to take the time. Often you get really busy and you stop looking after yourself, and you don't know how much you miss something until you do it again. I always say it's like you haven't seen a friend for so long, maybe 6 months or a year or whatever, and you don't realize that you've actually missed them until you see them again. I always say that, and it's always so true. So you don't realize how much you miss just watching Netflix for a day or a few hours or whatever, or having an hour bath or whatever it is. You don't realize until you've then done it again. And I think that's what a retreat is all about, is you're retreating back to yourself. You're retreating from your life so that you can retreat back to yourself, and treating yourself how you should treat yourself, is making that time to really dive back into yourself. And I think the nice thing about my retreat is we do so many different things, but we also do things that will come together in a beautiful way to make you realize what you want out of life, what you feel like you're lacking, how you can change it, what are the steps to take as soon as you leave to start creating the life that you want to live, and how to set boundaries with people and how to manifest and all that kind of stuff. So it really is a special retreat. I've been doing them in the Midlands at Brambleberry Lodge. It's really nice because it's on the Midlands meander. So when you have your free time, you can go out and go try all the different coffee shops, go to the little shops. I personally like one of the little crystal shops there. So many little farm stores and crystal shops and places that you can go and visit, which is nice. And it's just an hour and a half from Durban, so it's not too far. It's not like going to the Berg. The Joburg Girls is quite a trek. It's like 5.5 hours. So I really appreciate them making the effort to come down. And that's also why I made it 3 nights now instead of 2. It's just so nice to space things out. It's allowed me to give them more chunks of time to go and bath for 3 hours, or read in bed for 3 hours or whatever. And I can just spread things out a bit as well. I've also been able to add in a little outing this time. So we went to Peter's Gate, which is a herb center where they grow all their own herbs and they make their own essential oils and so many other products. And we had a talk on essential oils, and we got to go into the garden and smell straight from the plant and just learn all about it. And it was so interesting. So this next retreat next weekend is the same. So they're going to be having a talk. I'm telling you this in case you want to book, because we still have 4 spots available. So feel free to contact me after this and share it with a friend. So there's an essential oil talk. Then we also added, we usually make vision boards, and then we did that as well. And then we added dot art, so with paint, and it was just so beautiful, just to show you that you can meditate in a different way. You don't have to sit cross-legged and be quiet for 10 minutes. You can actually get out something creative and create a meditative practice. So I gave them the headsets and we played a beautiful playlist, and they just got on with it. And it wasn't about what it looked like at the end. It's more about the process while you're doing it. So, I mean, there were some beautiful creations. They were all beautiful in their own way, but it was more about the doing. And they sat there for like 30 to 45 minutes, just creating and being quiet and listening to beautiful music. It was all like heart chakra, and then it was root chakra, and it was all different frequencies and beautiful songs that really resonated throughout their whole body and was balancing them at the same time. So that was beautiful. Did you know that there are Unselfishly Me affirmation cards that you can buy for yourself? They are the perfect gift, whether it's for yourself or for a loved one or a friend. They are beautiful. They are hand painted. They are so motivating. They are so in tune with the universe. They will guide you and guard you against anything and everything that you are asking. They are 350 Rand and they come in a beautiful cotton pouch. They are for any age. They are so special and they are such a pride and joy product of mine. I'm so happy that they came together the way they did because I think they're beautiful. We also have kids affirmation cards that have just launched. They are 300 Rand. They are hand illustrated by my friend Christine and they are super cute and super motivating for the kids as well. They can pick a card each morning. If you're a teacher and you have them in your classroom, you could pick a card for the week or a card for the day. They say things like, I am safe, I can do hard things. There are so many beautiful affirmations for these kitties. So you can pop online to unselfishlyme.com/shop and go and get them. Yeah, so I loved the feeling of the 3 nights. It just allowed us all to breathe. Even me, I'm usually so drained at the end and it's just so rushed and it's like so to the minute, Also, this allowed us more flexibility to change times around when girls had spa appointments and, just being able to have that flexibility as well. Also with the weather, it changes so often up there. So we even change things around and I usually do like a little self-love secret sunrise and we also go into the forest for a meditation, but I've switched everything around just because of the weather. And then it was gale force wind on Saturday morning. It actually was raining and there was gale force wind, so instead of 7 a.m. we actually moved it to afterwards. We had breakfast at 8 and then we went, like 8:30, we went into the forest and we did the secret sunrise in the forest, which we don't usually do, followed by the meditation afterwards. So we finished around 10:10 and it actually was perfect. We were quite protected compared to near the lodge, but at the same time the wind was howling. We were laughing. I was like, okay, everyone's spirit guides have come here today. But it was strange because there was one song and every time it said the wind stopped blowing, it would like stop blowing. It wasn't like as gale force. So I thought that was quite interesting how it was the universe was playing on us with that, but I think it was quite apt as well, just because it was one of the girls had said we needed that hectic wind to show us that we were calm inside, and also it like shifted. Another girl had said it like shifted energy for her and she literally felt a shift because of the wind. Like it helped to just move things around. So it wasn't terrible. I had to have my back to the wind so that the microphone wouldn't be annoying, but it was beautiful in the forest. It just really is special and magical in there. So I definitely had to move things around so that we definitely had those 2 things because those are a highlight. So if the weather got really bad in the afternoon or on Sunday morning, then it wouldn't matter. So that was really interesting, with the weather and how it played out, but it was just perfect in the end. And then another thing I added, instead of doing like a yoga workout stretch in the one morning, because I don't teach yoga, but like I can teach you a workout using a few yoga poses in it, but mostly body weight workout. We did a guided walk, which we put the headsets on and we did a walk. It was about 2Ks, listening to some meditations and then like a beautiful playlist, and there are some alpaca and horses and ducks up the road. So we walked out the property up to there and then saw the alpacas and then walked back. It was just so nice to like kind of like, have your headsets on and listening to a beautiful playlist and being in your mind, but at the same time like communicating with each other and also just seeing something so cute and so fun and doing something so different. So I will definitely be repeating that again this retreat. So this next retreat is going to be exactly the same as the one we just did and the topic. So I chose to talk about boundaries. Like in my Connect sessions, obviously it's not like a full hour like the Connect session. It's more like a 20-minute kind of chat. And then we also did negative self-talk, which is huge and so important. And I think those 2 go hand in hand going into the festive season because you need to be kind to yourself, especially if you are triggered by food and you're worrying about your weight going into Christmas and New Year's, as like most people do. It's just be kind to yourself, speak kindly to yourself, look in the mirror and see the beautiful person that you are, and don't degrade yourself and say negative things to yourself. It's been a really hard year and you need to start training yourself to say positive things and not negative things. And then also with the boundaries and family and going into the festive season and with COVID, like you need to set your boundaries. Like I'm very pedantic about everything. Like I always wear a mask. I don't let people around us that aren't wearing masks, and especially around paper. If you're around paper, you have to wear a mask, and as you come in, I'll spray your hands. And I don't really let people in the house. It's more like in the garden, spaced out. So I am pedantic. So I'm obviously pedantic on the retreats, spaced out, wear my mask inside all the time. If I didn't have a mask on, I wore a visor and away from people. So it is much safer, and we can all set our own boundaries. And I had to just, set my boundaries with that. So I think it's important for you to set your boundaries for Christmas with family or friends and co-workers, and just say how you want it to be, how you want to feel safe. And so this is a nice way to learn the boundaries now so that you can put them in place for, the holidays as well. It's a very good skill to learn. So boundaries, and then also with the negative self-talk going into silly season as well. So what to expect on the retreat, I'm just going to read you from our little flyer. So it's slow down, unwind, retreat, recover from 2020, and rediscover you. Join us for a magical Midlands retreat where you are given permission to retreat back to yourself. A weekend of putting yourself first, making time for yourself, and learning tools to enable you to take that into your everyday life. So what to expect? 2 self-love stretch classes to open up our hearts. So that was, no surprise there, it was a Secret Sunrise dance, and then it is a guided walk. 2 guided meditations to open up our minds. So we did that after dinner. A forest walk, a forest meditation. That's with the headsets. It's really special. Journaling session in the outdoors. 2 self-love workshops, outdoor reading time, walks. So anything you really want to do. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me one-on-one. Then we have fireplace after dinner chats. Then there's 3 dinners, 3 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and then plenty of relaxation time at Brambleberry or to meander and explore. So the cost is $3,400 if you have a single room, and then if you're sharing with a friend or a mom, sister, whatever, then it's $2,900 per person. So I still have 4 spots left if you'd like to join us. It really is special. And if you want to contact anyone that has done it before, just let me know and I'll tell you who to contact, and then they can give you their honest opinion. So if you don't want to hear it from me, you can hear it from them. But I promise you, it is worth every cent. The food is delicious. Most of it's from We Are Food. I love their food. And it's amazing. So let me know if it's something that interests you. I have been asked to do a Cape Town retreat. So I'll look at that in the future, but obviously the pricing will be like double because it's so far for me to travel. And I'd have to get like a lot of people. Like this was 13, this last one. For Cape Town, I'm going to have to get at least 15 people. So finding places that can have that many people and increase the price to cover flights and all that jazz, that's important as well. So I love doing the retreats. I think it is a beautiful thing to gift yourself if you've never done a retreat. I think the nice thing about these are that not like yoga retreats. If you've never done yoga, you don't know how it's going to be. You don't know if you'll be able to, inverted commas, do it. But this is literally anything and everything you can do, because it's just about being yourself and putting in time to yourself to learn what you want, how you're feeling, how you can change that and plan it going forward. So there's like literally nothing that you can't do. So if you're nervous about that, my one friend is a control freak as well, and she was so nervous the whole time. And then when I told her, I was like, hey, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do, this is the surprise. And then she's like, oh my word, I'm so excited now, okay, I'm not nervous anymore. So You don't need to be nervous about anything, because it is all things that you can do. And yeah, if you can hold a pen and write, then you're good. If you can close your eyes and listen, you're good. So don't stress. Yeah, just being in the forest and in that beautiful place is just incredible. So it is at Brambleberry Lodge, again in the Midlands. So Joburg and Durban, easy to get to. If you were looking for a sign, maybe this is it. So send me an email, hello@unselfishlyme.com, or send me a DM on Instagram at unselfishlyme or at GIJaneFit. And yeah, let's chat and see if it's something that you are keen to do. I hope that you all have a fabulous week and didn't miss the podcast last week too much. I had way too much to do. But I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to Unselfishly Me. Follow us on Instagram at unselfishlyme and check out our website www.unselfishlyme.com.